And how you doing?
Good evening, Tasha. How are you?
Listen, I'm fantastic. Thursday is always close to the weekend, and so I'm happy to have made it to Thursday.
Well, listen, I'm happy. This is going to be a great chat tonight for those of you who are just joining us. We are Tasha and Sharon. We are the AQ part. I should introduce myself. I'll let you introduce you. I'm Sharon Porter, partner in the AQ Partners.
And I'm Tasha Howland, her accountability partner, and the other half of AQ Partners.
Right, and so we've been accountability partners for over 10 years. I'm just going to say that, and have helped each other achieve so many things in life. And we're here to help you talk about accountability, provide services and help you achieve whatever it is you're trying to achieve in life. It's been really, really great and wonderful. And we come together each Thursday to kind of talk about accountability.
Yeah, hopefully it's inspirational and, get you motivated to do something.
Yes, and please join in our conversation.
I'm watching the comments.
Yes. All right, so let's get into it. Lights, camera, accountability.
Out front, on blast. What else would you say?
In the public eye. Hi, Yvonne. How are you?
Good evening, Yvonne.
All right, let's talk about it, right? Because what happens when you have to be held accountable in public? Yeah. That is highly uncomfortable. For me, I can't, it's very uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable, but it shows some level of strength when you just man up and take it,
So let's go to some examples, right? let's go to what led us. All right. So we've got three different things here. We've got Skip Bayless and we've got Shannon Sharp from Uninterrupted. Hey, Gangsta E. I'm glad to hear you're doing great. You're doing great, Yvonne.
These folks on blast and held accountable in public
for all the world to see.
Yeah. Right. Talk about Skip Bayless for those that don't know the story.
All right. So Skip Bayless has been a sports reporter for 50 years. Well respected. He's also the one who helped put Stephen A. Smith on. We all know who Stephen A. Smith is. He's got a show. And so on the night that the Buffalo Bills football player went into cardiac arrest, he made a tweet that some felt were insensitive, right? And thought he was thinking more about the game instead of about the player. I saw the tweet. I didn't see what the big deal was, but okay. There's a lot of people who don't like Skip.
And there's a lot of times where it's not a big deal until someone makes it a big deal.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
So here's where the accountability came in, right? And so people have been calling Skip to the carpet for years. So he's been being held accountable for his language and his, his rhetoric, his insensitivity, which I think he's owned. Which he's, I think, responsible for. But Shannon Sharp, who is his co-anchor on this show, was so furious at what the tweet, he didn't show up the next day. But I'm going to tell you, everyone from Michael Strahan, Stephen A. Smith, everybody weighed in on what Skip had to say. And so much so to the accountability part, he had to go up on this show by himself because his own partner didn't show up.
Yeah.
And then they got into a tense exchange.
Yeah, they've been doing this show together for years.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Good evening, Nan.
Hey, Miss Nan. So how about the accountability that, Shannon Sharp was also held, he was also kind of called out publicly by Stephen A., right?
Right. Stephen A. said, Shannon, that's your seat. I don't agree with what Skip did, but that's your seat. You don't ever give up your seat for anybody. I don't care how mad you are. We fought too hard, too long to get these
hard to get here.
Right. So tell me what you think about it. Hi, Gail. How are you?
Gail. I think that a lot of people in these past few years have gotten the guts to hold people accountable in public. And I think it's a good thing. Too many times people are just able to say things and do things and get away with it. And there should be some accountability. So shout out to Shannon Sharp for saying, dude, you my partner across this desk and we've been doing this for years, but you were wrong, right? Shout
Yeah.
out to Stephen A for saying, yes, he was wrong, but I'm gonna kind of hold you accountable too. Like, yeah, don't just walk out like that,
Yeah.
show up. So
And let's just talk about this. Stephen A. and Shannon Sharp held him accountable in two different ways. Shannon was mad, pissed off, didn't show up to work. Stephen A. said, I don't agree with him. He's still my friend. He's still the one. He's still my brother.
right.
He's going to disagree with the fact that I'm even saying this. And it's not even, so it's the accountability and how you hold someone accountable.
Yeah. And I think there is, there had for this particular situation, not in every situation, but for this particular one, the love and the friendship that they had, sometimes that's what you have to do. Listen, I want that. I
Yeah.
am not always right, although I like to think that I am.
Thank you. I was waiting for that part.
Now, I mean, statistically speaking, I'm right most of the time. But listen, when I'm not, I want somebody who's there who I know cares about me to say, come on, Tasha. Now, listen, I much prefer it on the side. You ain't got to
Listen,
call me
right.
out in public.
Absolutely.
Right.
So Gail says Stephen A. is beholden to Skip for years. He has said it. He does not mince words about that. He said it would not, if not for Skip giving him the opportunity, he would not be where he is today. He said, so that's my brother. So I respect it. He's like,
Yeah.
I don't forget how I got here. Right.
But you're still wrong.
Right. Even when he's wrong. Gangsta E says too many times names are not called. I think people need to be held accountable.
I agree.
Yeah. And they were held. And I think Skip should. Now, the other thing about what Skip said, I personally think what he said wasn't crazy, but it's the straw that broke the camel's back. And there were so many straws that have just gotten so heavy.
Yeah.
And so there are people who are just tired of
They were just waiting for this moment too.
And I mean, they went for his neck.
Yeah.
Football players, other anchors on other stations. I mean, they went for his neck.
Yeah.
All right. Now let's go to
our
another lights camera accountable.
Whew. Our beloved Nia.
Nia Long and Aime Uduka. I don't know if I ever say his name right. But Aime. Now, for those of you who don't know, Aime was a first-year head coach with Boston, brought them further than they have been in a very long time. They didn't win. They got to the finals. They did not win. But just after the finals and after Nia and their son had moved to Boston.
Yeah, because they've been together for years.
13 years, having an 11-year-old son.
13 years.
It gets reported, and a press conference is held by the Boston Celtics to say that Aime is going to be suspended for the year or indefinitely for having an inappropriate affair with someone on the staff. Now, mind you, it was consensual.
Yeah.
But so this man had an affair on his woman and lost his job.
Listen, I appreciate you for being able to tell all this information and know all the tea, right? The difference between you and I, like, I need you to help keep me up to date on these things. Yeah. But I do know that they had been in the public because she was planning their wedding.
Was she planning their wedding?
She was planning, they were getting ready to get married, right? Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that one. That's new tea for me. I didn't know.
Yes, that part I did know. And this was very public and very bad for him. And gosh,
I mean, listen,
it's heartbreaking all around, right?
He got it from every corner of the Black community because Nia Long is beloved.
She is beloved.
She is beloved.
Nobody better not say nothing bad about Nia Long.
Can't talk about Nia, especially if you're a woman of a certain age. You love Nia and all that she's done and what she's done in Black film. Now,
the other thing, though, that they think that they're not going to get caught, or do you not realize how much you have to lose? and that everybody is watching you, right? You're not a regular Joe Schmo that can just walk down the street and do something. You're in the public eye every single day.
But, and I should say, and he brought Nia into it. Like, so he was held accountable because where I would disagree with how the Boston Celtics carried this, they did a public press conference. You never do anything public about a private matter from an HR standpoint.
Well, what about from a PR standpoint? Because you want to get ahead of it before someone else makes a story of it.
I mean, that's his problem.
It's not his problem. It will become the organization's problem because he represents the organization.
We're talking about the NBA. We're talking about a man cheating on a woman in the NBA. That is really
It's
not.
according to who it is. It will become an issue for the organization.
Ma'am, no.
Okay.
Listen.
He'll say he did not care.
Yeah, he didn't
Obviously.
care. No, he didn't care. What we know about, right or wrong, but when we think about a professional athlete, what we do not think about men who commit. That's just not the leading. We're not doing anything against someone's character who's a professional ball player who's got a lot of money, goes from city to city. It is well known and documented how often it happens.
So Yvonne says, how did the team find out about the affair? Well, it was someone in the organization.
Yes.
And I feel like they had it out for him, right?
Well, so the rumors underneath, and we don't know if this is true, but the rumors underneath say he was having an affair in addition with someone higher up.
Oh.
Connected to higher up.
Somebody got mad.
Somebody got big mad.
Oh.
Somebody got big mad. So again, here he is. He's held accountable. But you got to come home to your lady and said, I cheated and I lost my job. And you just moved here. And every time now you go out in public, they're going to ask you about what I did. My God.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Woo!
But I think that he should have been held accountable. Maybe not to the extent that he would lose his job, but
right.
No, it is what it is.
Right, because ultimately it was consensual. I mean, that's the thing. It was consensual, so it wasn't it was inappropriate.
So it didn't appear that Gail says it did not appear that Nia got mad. He knew it was under investigation and he let her move out anyway. Well, Nia is classy.
Right.
She's not going to show us her mad.
No. She made it clear. She said, I got an 11-year-old son. I'm not going to do that.
He's too classy.
So, Gangsta E, listen, our watchers know the story.
Okay, Gangsta E, the girlfriend made all the arrangements for Nia's move. She knew the inside what was going on.
Exactly.
Dirty. That's dirty.
Did the female keep her job? I don't know. So that's the other thing. He got put on blast, but the woman, I mean, she got put out there, her face and her name, but not like Aimee did and not like Nia. I mean,
if you're gonna mess around, both parties need to have something to lose. Like our people on GMA, right?
Yeah.
And they both got put on blast. Tell me the names again.
Amy Roback and TJ Holmes. I need you to come on.
People. TJ.
But again, to your point, it's consensual.
Yeah.
Right? And so they've not broken any rules. In that case, they're not aware. Gail, damn the classy Nia's a black woman. She did not get mad. She did not get mad in public.
She didn't get mad in public. She mad.
Oh, but she got mad. Yeah, we know she got mad.
Yeah, listen.
Ain't no way in the world a black woman is put on blast like that and you lose your job. There's no way she didn't get mad.
Yeah. Nan said, "Oh my God."
No. You guys, they've broken up. Gail said she was standing by him. No. She's already left. It's gone. It's over.
The double standard is still alive and well. And listen, if she chose to stand by him, that was her choice. And,
right.
And no judgment for that. Let's just move on.
Yeah. Let's just.
She should have been fired.
Yes.
Both of them should have been held accountable. You're right.
They should have been.
The woman is not a celebrity. And so she's not going to make the news.
That's right.
She may have been held accountable, but it was in private.
Yeah. I still don't know if a consensual relationship, if they didn't violate any rules, I don't know that you need to be fired. That's unless you have a moral clause in there. That's a personal choice that someone has made, and they have to be
I
held.
think I think sports teams probably do have the moral clause, which is why they get fined and they get in trouble for doing things outside of the field.
Right, but a consensual relationship does not generally meet that standard, is what I'm saying.
Mm.
There's a lot of them. All right.
Okay.
They are all sleaze. Okay. Okay, Gail. Nan says that was the point. All right. Let's get into the Golden Globes. You talk about the Golden Globes.
Okay, listen, the Golden Globes has been around for 80 years, right? I think this was the 80th anniversary of the Golden Globes, but they did not air last year because
Last 2 years, right?
all of Hollywood, last 2 years, yep, boycotted the, Hollywood Foreign
The
Film
Golden Globes.
Council, right, who runs the Golden Globes, because they did not have a black member on the council at all. And
Was it a black member or a person of color?
they either one.
Well, I mean, I was just saying they didn't have a person of color.
They didn't have a person of color. No Chinese, no Indian,
Asian,
yeah,
no Latino,
no
no
Asian, no
Latina,
Latino, nobody.
nothing, nobody.
And overwhelmingly, the awards were not handed out to people of color either, right? If you don't have representation at the table, it's hard for you to get those votes and even get your name in the hat. And Hollywood noticed this and they said, you know what? This is not right. I'm going to hold you accountable. Fix it. Do something. We're not showing up. And they stood down. Now, and then this year they chose
Gerard Carmichael.
Gerard Carmichael.
Listen, I'm helping you out. I don't know the story, but I'm gonna help you out.
To host the show. And he is a black actor, and Hollywood did show up this year, but it was very clear. And they have since added, I think, maybe 5 or 6 people of color onto this board, and there were a number of different ethnicities who won awards this year at the Globes.
So Gerard is not only African American, but he's also gay, and he made it very clear in his stand-up. I've been selected to be the host because I'm black.
Yeah,
he's very clear about that. Now, was this right? Let me ask you, was that?
I think it's a personal choice. If there is a group of people who feel like something is wrong and they want to make a stand against it, and an organization or another group of people want to make a change, then yeah, sure, it was right. Maybe the council and the Globe didn't feel it was right because they lost out for 2 years. But they met their community where they were, and they made the necessary changes, which I think a lot of organizations have had to do, as this pendulum has swung to the left over the past 3 or 4 years, right?
Right. And it has to be, I think what this showed was, one, the solidarity of it. One, the two, it's a financial thing, right? And so when you start hitting people in their pockets,
right,
like, oh, they don't have an award, because if I remember seeing a documentary on who the members of the foreign press are, they're not, all they got is the Golden Globes. Let me just say it that way. All they got is the Golden Globes, and without it, they are not. It's the reporter from the Czech Republic Times, like
right.
That's all it is. And
do you think it was fair?
It's how accountability works. All right, Gail says they put lipstick on a pig and it's still a pig. Those in power did not care about people of color. Agreed. However, there's now changed behavior as a result of, you don't want to change? That's okay. We're not going to participate. And that's how you will get someone, in this instance, to see that there might be another way to do something.
And I think that's all it is at this stage. You cannot make a change in someone that has been doing the same thing for 80 years. That change is not going to happen in 2 years, right?
No, it's not. And it can't be done with
Looks like
polite
a
conversation.
mistake, but like you said, they've recognized it and started to move toward making changes.
I'm going to say they were forced to recognize it.
Sure.
They were forced to be held. They were held accountable. It was forced. And to your point, what's been going on in this country over the last 3 to 4 years has made it, the screams and the cries of the people of of people of color can no longer go unnoticed.
Have you ever been held accountable in public for something, or had to be held accountable in public?
I don't think in public.
Hmm.
Let me say this. Certainly not to this degree.
Not to this degree.
Right? Because
no.
If I did, anything I did was paled in comparison that I had forgotten about it.
Yeah.
So let's just say, even if it did happen, I got the lesson. I ain't never do it again.
Right. Listen, I have been saying for the past 2 or 3 weeks, I want to learn the lessons from other people. You don't have to do it to me. I get it, right?
Yeah.
But accountability is important. It's important in private, which is where I much prefer it.
Yeah.
But call me to the carpet, right? I do it for my friends. I'm going to call if I'm your friend, I am definitely calling you to the carpet and saying in a loving way, have you thought about it from this perspective?
Listen, you did it for me recently.
Yeah. Have you thought about this?
That there was something we were amongst some friends. There was something I thought I said rather quiet. Tasha said, so
maybe you thought she was only talking to one person. But yeah, no.
You weren't quiet at all. I wasn't. No. I could have sworn I was whispering.
Yeah. No.
Ma'am, no, ma'am. You were not.
Some other factors in play there, and
boom.
Right.
So what's the moral to this? The lights, camera, accountability.
That we should both hold people accountable in public as necessary.
Yeah.
But definitely learn to be an accountable friend and call people out in private, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I respect the way Stephen A. did it. He openly, and he said it off, did not mince words. I do not disagree. Those are the first words out of his mouth. I do not disagree with what he said. I do not. I have told him he's wrong. I believe he's wrong. He is my friend. Because that also acknowledges that people have an opportunity to change. You're giving someone an opportunity to change.
And you can disagree without destruction.
Absolutely. You can.
Right? This is a lesson that I had to learn. We don't all agree, and we don't have to agree, but it doesn't have to ruin a relationship.
No. However, if you do something like I did,
it might ruin the relationship.
It's going 99.9% of the time. You're gonna lose.
What you did, I may.
I can't defend that. We can't. No.
Listen.
We can't.
Fantastic chat, Sharon. I always enjoy talking to you, and thank you all for engaging tonight. I hope you enjoyed the conversation as well. Hold your friends accountable, and listen, participate in accountability in public. It's what the civil rights movement was about, right? As we just got over Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, and
You can always follow us on Facebook at AQ Partners, on Instagram at AQ_partners, and on our website, theaqpartners.com.
Thanks for joining us.
Good night, everybody.